Hey dividend investors, welcome back. Welcome back to the channel Oneonecocoa full basket. You know, I must apologize to my subscribers and those who you usually follow for being away for so long. I've been a little lazy. I don't know. I have been trying to streamline my portfolio. I've been having some difficulties just maybe adding funds to the account, and so I've gotten a little frustrated, but I still would like to share with you what my dividend account is doing. We've been definitely increasing. This Q2 of 2024 should see increased dividends and some capital adding there for sure. Not a lot, but a little, and the dividends being reinvested. So I hope to share with you Q2. I almost think that I have information on Q3 already. Yeah, it should be time to share Q3. So hopefully I'll just make this one short, and then I will try to make up Q3 for you. I've been away for so long. Thanks for joining me. Alright, so we can't forget our little disclaimer, because remember that this is just my journal representing my personal financial journey and views, and should not be taken as financial advice or recommendation. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm far from it. I'm not qualified to give financial advice, so before you invest, please consult a financial advisor. So our portfolio holdings remain the same for now. I have definitely made some changes for Q3. I will share those with you in Q3 while I do that report. So I still have Burrito, Carreras, Grace Kennedy, Jamaica Stock Exchange, MP-Cell. I still have Cygnus. I definitely have Trans-Jamaica, Elite, Medical Disposables and Supplies should be disposed of, and we have Dollar Financial and PBS 9.25. So we have accumulated dividends for Q2. From Carreras, we always get good dividends, so we have 19,000 there. From Grace Kennedy, we have a measly 3,599, and I said measly because of the amount that we have already invested in GK. Jamaica Stock Exchange gave us a small amount of 455. MP-Cell have never received anything from that, and so that is why we've made changes in Q3. We'll talk about that. Cygnus Credit we haven't gotten for Q2 because they don't usually pay in Q2, they pay in Q3. Q3 of the financial year is not really Q3 of Cygnus, but it is Q2 for me. They will definitely pay for next quarter, and I do expect a good dividends from them. TJH, they will pay me next quarter, Q3. Elite, I don't know what's going on there. Medical Disposable and Supplies, I don't know what's going on there either. Dollar Financial Services, we have invested a bunch in that, but I noticed that dividends for sure has been increasing quarter over quarter, and I do also expect to get some capital appreciation from them. But the dividend so far is not bad for a new company. We get $12,000 in this quarter, so that is not bad at all. PBS 9.25. It is a US dollar preference share, and so I've converted the US dollars to Jamaican dollars, and so the equivalent of 245 would be 38,000, I think, based on the exchange rate that I've used. I've been quite modest with that. So we've received a total of 74,386.83 cents, and I do not think that that is a bad payout at all, especially if you're not really depending on the dividends, to do anything, you just reinvest your dividends. I think it's a great way to just grow your portfolio. Okay, so let's talk about GK first of all, because GK is our focus stock right now. We've been building out a position in GK. So far, previously we had 5,558 share units. We have added 3,957 in Q2, so we have a total of 9,515 shares currently. And we did say that our goal was to have 10,000 shares in GK. 10,000 shares in GK is not bad at all, but I do think that I may want to add some more shares to GK. We will see though. We will see what happens in Q3 to see how we will allocate our capital there. I'm definitely still bullish on GK. Of course, we are looking forward to that 2030 vision where the stock is listed on an overseas exchange. We are still looking forward to that. And even if that doesn't happen, we are still bullish on GK, and we are certainly adding more shares as we get our dividends in. For the long-term believers of GK, I am sure that we will still just be adding to our position. There's been some recent developments in GK where the CEO the Honorable Don Webby has not been well, so he has gone off on leave to take care of himself. We wish him all the best for sure. He has been such a hard worker at GK. He has given of him time also, not just to GK but to the country. As a senator, he's one of the brighter minds, financial minds in Jamaica right now. And so we are really hoping that he pulls through and comes back around. And even if it doesn't come back to GK for sure, we just want him to be around, because those bright minds, they don't come around very often. And so even if he's not as GK, as CEO for sure, he will be able to provide useful advice and so on. But he has been putting in a succession plan in place. He has Stephen Whittingham is the deputy CEO, and I do think that he is quite capable of handling the job. Under Don Webby, I am sure that he would have learned a lot, and we are just waiting to see. And I also think that he's the chairman of the Jamaica Stock Exchange. So he's quite an upcoming spark there, and to have him as at GK as the deputy CEO, I don't think is a bad idea at all for sure. So good succession planning there from the Senator Don Webby, putting in a deputy CEO who appears to be quite capable. And so we wish them the best at GK, and it's not just them, but all the shareholders who have been holding on to the shares of GK, hoping that the company will continue to do well. And I'm sure that is not just a Don Webby thing, because GK has been doing well before Don Webby also. So I'm sure that it will continue to do well. I'm still bullish on GK, man. I still think that I want to add some more shares to this position, even after getting to my goal of 10,000. I'm a little way, 400 and something away. So I do hope that we can add some more to GK. GK has been making record profits. I think that they've made record profits for, no, I'm talking about Q3. I'm supposed to go back to Q2 because this is Q2. But they have also been increasing their dividends, and that is promising for sure. So we're being paid to hold the shares until we get that capital appreciation, because these are not just dividend stocks, you know, these are dividend growth stocks, and we do expect to have some amount of growth in the long term, you know. But we see the vision, we see where they are aggressively building out their company just by buying into other companies to grow GK, because for sure GK already would have a large percentage of the market, so it's going to be hard for them to get more market share. And so that is one way of them growing out the company, just to be buying into other companies and incorporating them into GK for sure. And so this has been paying off, because we're definitely seeing where we are going to be getting more dividends. He did say that though, at one of the quarterly briefings, he did say that he noticed that, well, Don Webby did say that he noticed that a lot of the companies in the Caribbean, they don't pay good dividends compared to some of the companies in the US. And I'm guessing if he wants to go on a US stock exchange, then he would have to be offering better dividends than what he's offering now. And so I think that that is a long-term plan for him there, and I'm sure that we will all benefit from that. So kudos to GK, and we are still bullish on GK. Alright, so let's continue to talk. What's next? What's the next dividend growth stock that I'll choose to put in my portfolio? I have been thinking about this for a while, because I'm like, okay, I'm almost at my goal with GK, but can I find another company that is better than GK? Because that is always a question. You know, if you're buying into a company and you're like, okay, I've reached my goal in buying this company, in my mind, I need to see another company that is more attractive than this company that I'm currently buying to start buying. Because then in my mind, it would be better for me to just continue buying the one that I'm now buying. So yes, I have been thinking, I've been looking, I've been listening, I've been researching as much as I can on another company that I want to add to my portfolio. Seprod is a company that I've thought of. Seprod, I think, is now at about $84 and some cents maybe, but just run about the $84 mark. Like dividends is not huge. I think it's about 1% and something, 1.5 something. Well, it's not that it is not as attractive as GK for sure. Seprod has bought majority share stake in Ace Bryden a while back, and Ace Bryden is also listed on the exchange. And so if I have Seprod, then I wouldn't bother to go buy Ace Bryden, because I know. Alright, so majority stake in Ace Bryden there. It's not a bad idea. And in turn, Ace Bryden has bought majority stake in CPJ. CPJ, Caribbean Producers Jamaica. They're another distribution company in Jamaica that so all of those companies would now be subsidiaries of Seprod. Seprod is the largest manufacturing and distribution company in the Caribbean currently, when you take into consideration its stake in Ace Bryden and in CPJ. So that is something to look at for sure, but as I said before, the dividends is quite small. It's not as well, the dividend is not even 2.5%. I think that less than 2.5% is just you buying for capital appreciation. If you expect it to appreciate in value significantly over time. But for a Seprod, for sure, it would definitely be a dividend growth stock for sure. So I'm still looking there. I'm still looking. And for those of you who have been following for a while, you may just drop me a comment as to what you think about Separate and any of the other companies that I'm currently looking at to replace GK. I don't know if there's any company that can actually replace GK, but because I'm so bullish on GK, it's going to be difficult for me to find another company, because in my mind, if I'm going to stop buying into GK for now, I would need to see another company that is more attractive than GK for me to just go out and start buying into that company, building a new position or adding to the position, as I would need to do in the case of Burrito, because I already have Burrito in my portfolio, small amount there. I've been waiting and watching those developments with Burrito, and they seem to have dodged the bullet, or I don't know what Burrito is going on with, but I'm not as bullish. Well, no, they have a new CEO. I do have great confidence in him to lead the company forward, but then he's just a middleman. He has to take take guidance from his bosses, who will still control just the way the company is run. And so I do think that he will actually propel the company forward. Burrito has had increased profitability. I think for the 9 months they have net profit of 3.89 billion or something like that. So definitely increased profitability for Burrito. They also have real estate property that they need to develop in St. Mary and St. Anne, and I do think that will increase their profitability going forward. So I'm actually looking forward to, so that could definitely cause some growth in the company, because it's a financial company in Jamaica, and I do think that the market is quite saturated. So I think that real estate venture that they want to embark on would be good for them to grow their company. And so Burrito would be another in my consideration for replacing GK after I've gotten to my goal of where I want to go. And I'll share that with you in Q3 as to exactly where we are. But because we have made some significant purchases there in GK, so it will show differently when we speak next. So for sure, so I've been really thinking. So we say that Burrito has been increasing the profitability, almost 4 billion for the 9 months. It's not bad at all. And then we have some real estate there to develop. And I think that they're seeing some increases in some other aspects of their business. So Burrito is not a bad buy, I think. So we're thinking about Separate, we're thinking about both Burrito. Tell me what you think. We're also looking at Wisynco. Wisynco is not, well, Wisynco is another consideration. But GK is always is also a manufacturing distribution company, and so would Separate be, and so would Wisynco. So we don't want to overexpose ourselves to just manufacturing distribution. I don't know what the negatives of that would be, but there are definitely pros and cons to everything. Until it changes, then we'll be like, oops, we shouldn't have done that. But for sure, these companies are producing goods and services that are needed, and they're also expanding in their foreign distributions. So that is something also to look at. So Wisynco and Wisynco distributes, they actually distribute lots of different brands in Jamaica, lots of different brands. Even my favorite ice cream there at Devon House, I heard now that they are distributing, well, they're the distributors of those brands also, but it's just in Jamaica. I guess it's not overseas, because I was listening to these guys, Limitless podcast. They have a new ticker that they're doing, and I think it's very interesting. I like it. I think I listen to them maybe not every time they post a video, but I do listen to them quite often, because they really go deep into the analysis and just looking at the just looking at the qualitatives and quantitatives of the company. And so Limitless, big up to Limitless, they are doing a good job. I think that they did something on Separate, and I think that, and they have done something on Wisynco also. So Wisynco, I do think that they have room for growth and expansion, because I think that they only distribute, I think that only 2% of their revenue come from overseas sales, and I do think that they could be distributing more overseas, so there is some leeway for growth there. And I also like the fact that they are trying to lower their sugar content in a lot of their beverages, for sure, because those things are sweet. If you ever look at the content, the sugar content of some of these drinks that these kids are having at school, even though they also have water, but man, some of these sugar contents not good at all, and Jamaicans, they love these drinks. I would love to get some of them sometimes, but for sure, lowering the sugar content, just making it a little bit healthier to have, will I think will also propel their level of growth and sales, for sure. People are getting more health conscious these days. No one wants to be consuming all that sugar, and Wisynco. So these are some positives there for Wisynco, definitely. So I think Wisynco has been sold now for about $21 per share there, and they do pay dividends. Yeah, I think, well, the dividends is better than Separate, for sure, definitely. But I actually bought into Wisynco at IPO. It was $7 and something, but it went up to $28, man. That was like three times my average cost there, for sure. I had to sell. That's where I made a bunch of my money to invest in other things. So Wisynco, we're not leaving it out, but we are still considering it. I don't know if I want to put so many distribution companies in my portfolio, but of course we put a lot of financial companies, and we're not that concerned. And I think that the financial companies are definitely more vulnerable than the distribution manufacturing companies. So let us see there what will go on. Drop me a comment and tell me what you think. NCB, I've also been considering NCB. I haven't even added anything for NCB because NCB has been having so much trouble these days. I definitely think that NCB has over leveraged themselves. Another guy I like to listen to is Blue Collar Finance Man. He's a radicalist, but you do get some good gems. Of course, most of the stuff that he speaks about, you already know, or you already have an idea, but he puts his own take to it, and interestingly, sometimes you get a few gems here and there from what he's saying. But yes, he has been saying that for a while, that NCB is over leveraged, and there's no question about it, to the point now where Michael Echin is having some issues repaying some of his debts and so on. Maybe not from NCB, but from his Portland holdings and so on. But then he's putting up NCB shares for some of those, and so if he needs to sell a bunch of it, then it's definitely going to affect the price of NCB, because puts all of that out on the market at market price. You may never know how far it will sell down to. So NCB is one of my considerations for sure. At $50, $51 there, I do think that it's a good buy. Well, the value, but at the same time, the company, like where the company is going, we have to know where the company is going. I do think that Michael Lechin wants the best for NCB. He has been working to bring back NCB, paying dividends and so on. So we have to give him credit for that for sure. But at the same time, we need to know that we are going to get our money's worth. So these are the companies that I have been looking at. Tell me what you think. Alright, so our dividends has been growing for 2024 already. After 2 quarters, we have 257,000 in dividends. That's not bad at all. Quarter 3, we should see more, because we also have dividends from Trans-Jamaica and dividends from Cygnus that we have not gotten in quarter 2. So that's not bad at all. That's not bad. I think that we are going to definitely surpass our 486,000 from last year. Let's see how much we have. We will surpass it by. Definitely, this is going to be a better year than last year for sure. So last year we received 6.61. So we expect that to be better. Alright, dividend investors, remember Oneonecocoa full basket. Don't forget to start investing and stay invested. Do not sell out and run, do your research and be confident in the companies that you have chosen. If nothing changes fundamentally for those companies, then hold on to your stocks while they're cheap, so that when there is a move in the company, you will get both dividends and capital appreciation. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you pretty soon again, because I do have information for my quarter 3, and I will share that with you as soon as possible. Dividend investors, thank you so much. Remember, Oneonecocoa full basket.